Hey there guys, me Malorian with a real talk. I know it's been a little while since I've done a video. Life has been interesting lately, to say the least. But, you know, I just want to kind of get to the point of things are, you know, kind of nuts out there, and I think it's always good to try and relate this back to gaming, because sometimes the best way you can understand something is a way that you can make it more real for you, or more, not so much real, more comparable to the things that you normally deal with. So I think the way that I want to start this off without jumping to the end is really be thinking about gaming and the way that you think about other gamers. So a great example for this is if you think about all the main games that are out there, like Magic the Gathering. Think of a Magic the Gathering player. You probably have some stereotypes coming to your mind of like, these are just, you know, disgusting, unclean guys, let's just go there, men just packing into these rooms and just, you know, trying to just whatever, win at whatever cost, greasy, just disgusting people, no hygiene. Then you might think of, you know, like 40K, and these are just like kids who like don't know what they're doing, like rolling lots of dice type thing. Then you might be thinking of like the fantasy players with, you know, like knights and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, now we're getting to like the old men in the basement, you know, just that's what they do. They want to do their old historical stuff, and down they go. Or maybe think about War Machine, and so depending where you're coming from this one, their stereotype is like, oh, these are the win-at-all-cost people that, you know, don't care about having fun. They use the stupid 2D terrain. They're just serious gamers. They're just complete jackasses type thing. Now, I think the interesting thing with all these kind of like comparisons is that I am all of them. I play all these games. You know, I played 40K, I played Fantasy, I play Magic, I play War Machine, and I don't become a different person when I go and I play these different games. This is something I've said a lot when we've talked about how you should be dealing people from other games, is that you really need to realize that your same buddies that are playing whatever miniatures and dice are in front of you right now are the same type of people that are playing these other games. They are just into these other games because of the aesthetic, or just those are ones their friends went to, or that's the game they learned first. But it's not like that if you go to Magic that you're going to be finding that, oh yeah, there's a significant statistical difference in the amount of underarm deodorant that people use and stuff like that, right? It's the same type of people doing all these types of things. You might think it's fair to say that between these, that okay, in this game it's more designed for this type of play, so there'll be some more players there of that type, and that's fair to say, but at the same time, it's going to be the minority. The majority are just people like me playing these different games because they're interesting and they're fun. And I think the big thing to take away from that is just then realizing how wrong those stereotypes are. That when you're looking at the Magic players, they're the same people that are playing your War Machine and 40K. A lot of us do play multiple formats and multiple games, and obviously we don't transform magically into different people as we jump from one game to the other. And as I said, I really want to kind of relate this to the other stuff that's going on, and just, you know, with the racism that's in the news, and of course it's always something that's in the news because it seems like it's part of human nature, unfortunately. But just the same thing there, and if we can really realize that, I'm sure if you go and you do the same type of thing, we're like, well, what is a Chinese person like? What is a Russian person like? What is a German person like? What is an American like? Stereotypes will pop into your mind. They're like this, they're like this, they're like this. But they're all just people, and much like as gamers that jump from one game to another game, there's lots of people out there that live in one country and then move to another country, maybe several different countries. They travel a lot. Maybe they have mixed families from both sides, multiple sides. I mean, you have lots of heritage now where it's not like, oh, I'm 100% this. It's like, well, I got a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of this, and we're all just the same type of people. And I think when you look at it that way, you can see that there's not really any differences between us, and anything that we put there is more so the stereotypes that we've put in our mind. And maybe you can blame some things like media and movies and stuff like that for creating those stereotypes and pushing them. But at the same time, it's up to us to try and think about those things and really understand where our biases are and to continually challenge them. I would like to think that all of the people that I game with and that I'm friends with, it doesn't matter what color of skin a person is that they're dealing with, they're going to be dealing with them exactly the same. Much like the same thing, where if we were at a convention and somebody comes over and we're from the War Machine crowd and they're from the 40K crowd and they're like, hey, want to grab some barbecue? Then we'd be like, yeah, sure, because whatever, right? We all like barbecue. It's all great. And I don't really know how else I want to be putting this subject other than that. This has been a video that I've been thinking about making for a while over the years as different things come up now and again. And I never know how much I should be standing on my high horse and on my crate box trying to lecture and things like that, because it just seems like it's just such a straightforward comparison, and it's something that should be so logical and easy to be understanding. And sure, at the same time, there's going to be the people out there that say, well, statistically, if you look at these people versus these people and blah blah blah, it's like, sure, there could be a slight height difference, there could be a slight whatever difference, that's all great, but the vast majority of our DNA is exactly the same, and we're all the same type of people, especially if we're all given the same types of advantages and opportunities growing up. So again, I don't want this to be like a 30-minute lecture. I just really want to have some video on this to try and say something, and I hope this goes over well. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and let's just be nice to everyone, because we're all awesome people, and the best way to have fun is to have more awesome people around us. So there you go. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you later. Bye.